In today's Maximize Living segment, we're getting to the root causes of something that millions of people suffer with every day: digestive issues. You could reach for over-the-counter or prescription meds to treat the symptoms, or you could eliminate the problem altogether. We have Dr. Katie Benson. She is a chiropractic Maximize Living specialist joining us again. So welcome back, Dr.
Hi,
Katie.
thank you. Yeah.
So digestive issues, first of all, how common are they really in our world today?
They are becoming really epidemic. A recent study was done, a health study. They found up to 74% of U.S. adults are now struggling with a chronic digestive issue, whether that be gas, bloating, abdominal pain, diarrhea, constipation. And over 1.6 million Americans suffer with a more severe inflammatory bowel disorder like Crohn's or colitis. And what I find to be even scarier is they said up to 80,000 U.S. children actually struggle with severe digestive issues. So it's a major problem.
And on that note, you mentioned that. Why is it such an issue in adults, in kids this day and age, do you think?
Yeah, well, I know in our Maximize Living Health Center, as well as our 500 health centers across the United States, we've seen amazing success with helping patients with these chronic digestive issues. And what we find is there are underlying causes to the problems. And unlike traditional medicine that just kind of mask it, mask the symptom, a recent study was done on Nexium and Prilosec. And they actually released that study, and they said that when you take those medicines long term, it raises your risk of dementia and actually Alzheimer's disease later on in life. And so we really want to teach people what causes that. And one of the biggest causes is inflammation. And inflammation is a main driver of these chronic digestive issues. And one of the biggest causes of inflammation does come from our diet. And diets today, Americans
not the best.
No, they're so full of sugar, of processed grains, wheat and gluten and things like corn and soy. And what we're finding is that these high diets in sugar and high diets in grains, they're very inflammatory to the gut, and they even start to drive chronic digestive issues like leaky gut, and then that can start to really spread and cause even bigger issues with our immune system too.
So how do we find out, if we're eating all of these different things, exactly what's causing that inflammation? What in our diet is bad for us?
Yeah, well, the biggest driver, that's why we teach our patients how to get on what we call a healing diet. And a healing diet really focuses on removing those big drivers of inflammation. So cutting out the sugar, going more grain-free, and our nutrition plans actually show people how to effectively and easily start to eliminate the big drivers of inflammation from their diet.
And can they do what is, I know you always hear about it, taking one thing out of your diet and finding out the effects of that? Is that kind of the way?
Yeah, you could eliminate specific things, but what we find is that when you really focus on, the biggest ones and eliminate all those together, then you're going to see better results even faster when it comes to getting to the nutritional cause of that inflammation.
Now, I don't think most people even realize that nerve damage you talk about is related to your digestive system.
Yeah. Well, when we look at the body and we look at like dealing with issues that are in the gut or in the stomach or in the, colon, is that you have to look at what controls those organs. And if there's chronic inflammation or irritation on the nerves that supply those organs, then that's going to create, malfunction or inflammation in the organ. And so that's one of the main reasons why we look at the spine for our patients, because I've had a lot of people that come into the office and they have been eating right for years. They've been on an anti-inflammatory diet, but yet they're still struggling with digestive issues, and it's because they've neglected to look at the nerve. And what happens is that the spine that should be curved from the side and straight from the front is that most people, when we check them, is that they have a curve in their back that's irritating those nerves. I mean, you can see when that happens, what's that doing?
It's crunching on the nerves. I mean, putting pressure right there.
Yeah, and as long as those nerves are irritated and being squeezed that go out to the colon, out to the bowel, out to the stomach, that's going to continue to drive these inflammatory issues. So when we see that, we work on, through corrective chiropractic care, actually correcting that, opening up the spine, and really getting to the cause of that issue to allow the bowels to start to heal themselves.
So if we have a viewer out there struggling with these issues, what's the best way to kind of get started and find out what's wrong?
Yeah, well, first is that I always let people know your bodies are powerful and they are designed to heal themselves, and that even though these issues are common, they're not normal. So it's not something that you should just accept as being a lifelong struggle, is that you can get healthy, but you have to get to that underlying cause. You just can't keep masking it with medications. So that's where, you know, in our Maximize Living office in Marysville and our offices in Powell and Polaris, our doctors are specially trained to look to the causes of these issues, both nerve and nutritional, and how to work on getting people healthy. And so we do that through our 5 Essentials exam and evaluation of the nervous system.
All right, Dr. Katie, and we do have a special, normally $250. If you call today, mention you saw us here on Daytime Columbus. It's only $99. So we want to get people help, and we want to get them healthy.
Yeah, yep, absolutely.
All right, thanks, Dr. Katie.
Thank you.